Him, starring Marlon Wayans and Tyreek Withers, is a movie about a young athlete who is obsessed at becoming the greatest quarterback of all time, but those chances are almost halted when he gets attacked by a random fan on a football field that threatens to end his football career. Now, this is another movie produced by Jordan Peele and it's directed by Justin Tippin, and this movie has that sci-fi kind of horror feel to it, even though this movie really doesn't feel like it knows what it wants to be. Tyreek Withers plays Cameron Cade, and throughout his childhood, he always was watching football with his dad and dreamed of one day becoming the greatest quarterback of all time. He dreamed of one day playing with the Antonio Saviors. It's a made-up football team for the purpose of this movie that was led by their star quarterback, Isaiah White, who was played by Marlon Wayans. As Cameron becomes closer and closer to one day being that quarterback he so long dreamed of, he gets attacked by a random fan on the football field, and this threatens to almost end his career, but they never really quite get into why this is happening or what the purpose for this was. You don't find out if this guy got caught. You don't know, what happened or what the reasoning was behind this. You just know that he got struck, on the head by this fan, and this is something that could damage his career if he gets hit again, and we all know football is a contact sport. Now, Cameron decides that he doesn't want to give up. He wants to keep training, and he eventually gets that opportunity to train with Isaiah White on his compound. So this becomes a chance of a lifetime for Cameron. He actually gets to train with his idol on his compound and, see how the real pros do it. The problem with this movie is that this movie kind of comes at you as a piece of art that you don't want to buy. You ever go to one of those art galleries and see art that they're showing you and they're telling you it means something, it's powerful, there's a definition behind it, but you're not sure what the hell it means, you just know it cost a lot. This is kind of like what that movie is like. You know that there's a meaning and a hidden message within this movie, but the way it's delivered and the way it's presented to you, it's just dull and boring. It really doesn't draw you in as much as it should have. Throughout the hour and 36 minutes that I found myself trying to stay awake to watch this movie, I just kept nodding off and I kept almost falling asleep. It was the hardest thing to do, just to pay attention, because this movie really doesn't try to keep you entertained at all. As a matter of fact, most of this movie is just dry, it's just dull, until you get to probably the final act, where even that just leaves you with a lot of questions. You know that there's supposed to be some hidden symbolism within this movie, and they're trying to basically, show you how much you have to sacrifice to become the greatest of all time, or they're trying to tell you, like, this is what, real athletes have to go through, just to be great. But at the same time, it's like, they're not really explaining it to you the proper way. All the lighting and all the effects and all the sound effects and everything that they're trying to show you that has, like, skeletons being broken, bones, and they're showing you things that you would find in like a Mortal Kombat game when you do an X-ray fatality. But it doesn't even come to comparison to something like that, because all it's really doing is just making you annoyed because you're really not understanding what the movie is trying to deliver to you. I'm a big fan of Marlon Wayans, and it was really good to see him do something, besides comedy, because I know that's his usual bag. Other than like movies that he was in, like G.I. Joe, for example, that really wasn't a comedy and he had to do more of a serious role. I think him as Isaiah White was really good. I think he played the character really good. I just wish they gave him a better story and a more detailed script within the movie. Because I know Marlon Wayans was trying his best and doing his best to actually act in character and be within character, but what was happening within the movie just wasn't fitting his role at all. The movie left me scratching my head and wondering, what was I watching this whole time, and why did I even stay to finish this movie when I could have been doing so many different things with my life? But this is the hardest part of being a movie reviewer, when you have to sit through movies that really doesn't intrigue you, or really doesn't give you any entertainment at all. It doesn't give you anything to play off of except, just a bunch of tones and sounds and, things that they're trying to present to you that you can't even really get into. I kept trying to ask myself, okay, I have to review this movie, but what can I say about this movie that would make somebody want to watch it? And honestly, I really can't think of anything other than, if you're a Marlon Wayans fan, go support Marlon Wayans. Even Julia Fox also was in this movie, and Julia Fox is a pretty big name as well, but when you watch the movie, it feels like they just threw her in there as an extra, somebody they just needed to put in there to draw crowds to watch the movie. While Marlon Wayans and Tyreek Withers are training on the football fields, and they're getting into shape and they're doing drills and everything, you're trying to see, okay, well, where's this going? Like, are they going to play a game? Like, they don't even play football in this. Like, you don't even have a football game. It's just a bunch of training, a bunch of guys getting hurt for no reason at all. The premise of the movie is, how much would you sacrifice? What would you give to become the greatest of all time? And they use that term a lot. They say him like a bunch of times. They say GOAT a bunch of times. And, you know, there's references to real GOATs. And it's just all over the place. It's just a bunch of guys getting hurt. There's blood all over the place, and they don't really explain to you why. There's no reasoning behind it. It's just happening in front of your face, and you're just forced to watch it. You know, does Cameron Cade become a star quarterback? Does he get to live out his dream? What happens to Isaiah White in the movie? There's so many things that you're just left wondering, okay, where did this lead to, and why did they make this movie? What was the point of it all? It's like I stated before, it's like going to an art gallery where you know that this is valuable art somewhere beneath the surface, but you can't see it, but they're telling you, hey, this cost a lot of money. That's basically what this movie is kind of like. It's like, you know, there's some meaning to what the director is trying to tell you, but you can't see it for yourself, but it's there somewhere beneath the surface. And I feel like movies like that are never really the greatest, because we don't go to the movies to really try to figure things out. We go to be entertained. We go to see something to make us escape from our everyday lives and keep a smile on our face, or entertain us and put us in a good, feel-good mood. This movie did none of that. This movie wasn't entertaining. It didn't put you in a mood. It didn't put you in a vibe. The only thing this movie felt like it was good for was putting you to sleep. And it's really sad to see Marlon Wayans waste his talent like this on a movie that probably is just gonna get washed away and forgotten about within the next month or so. You know, I wouldn't recommend anybody to waste their time, waste their money, or even waste their life to go watch this movie, because this is something that you're gonna leave and you're gonna be frustrated when you're finished. You're gonna feel like you could have did something else. Why spend your money on something that you could have did at home, like go to sleep or watch a better movie? And like I said, this is a part of a movie reviewer's job that's really critical, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be too hard on a movie that has a great actor like Marlon Wayans in it, because Marlon Wayans is a phenomenal actor and I think he did a great job as his character, but the movie just didn't assist him in any way, shape, or form. I just feel like this is something that's going to put a stain on his legacy at some point, unless he comes back with something even greater than this. If I was going to rate him, I would rate it at like a 3. To be honest with you, it really doesn't probably even deserve a rating in my book. I feel like this movie was god-awful. This movie has no reason being in the big screen. They shouldn't even charge people to watch this. This is something that they should have just put on a streaming network and let you watch it with your subscription. But if you do happen to go see him, let me know if you fell asleep. Let me know if you stayed awake for the whole movie. Let me know if you enjoyed any part of this movie at all. Maybe there was something within the movie that you found interesting that I just could not. But you guys, thank you for watching my review on him. Please like and subscribe this video, as it'll help build my channel up. And once again, remember, it isn't cinema if it ain't absolute cinema. Till next time, take care.